What is up, guys? VayHoz here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this sound right here. It sounds kind of like a Zomboy type of sound or something like that. But anyway, here's what it sounds like. Yeah, anyway, cool stuff. I'm messing with a pitch bend right now. But anyway, there's 3 LFOs modulating stuff in here, and I'm going to go through all of it. And also 4 simple macros, which I'm going to show you how to hook up to get different alternations, kind of. Yeah, just fun stuff to mess around with, basically. I'll just put this back like it was, like that. Okay. But yeah. Okay, so basically we're gonna start off with a sub oscillator. So turn that on, direct out, level at 0. Okay, noise, turn it on, analog, white noise right there, and level at 0 also. Okay, so now for oscillator A, go into digital here and click razor. Okay, now we're gonna do some fun stuff here. So remove the morph tables, just to save like time and CPU power, I guess. And then go down here, click multis, and then squarify. Now we squarified all of these tables. We can crossfade it back and normalize each gain separately. Okay, now what you want to do is set the unison level to 9 voices, the detune at 0.04, the blend at 79, and then random at 100%. Okay, the wavetable position is at 1, and then the morph percentage is at 0%, and set it to FM from B. Okay, the level is at 0% in this case. Okay, there's no pitch settings at all, it's all default for oscillator A. Now for oscillator B, the pitch is plus 2 octaves, plus 7 semitones. Okay, and then go into analog and basic shapes for that. Okay. And now just leave the wavetable position at 1 because we'll be messing with the macros for that. Also, unison level at 9 voices, detune 0.01, random at 100%, and blend at 72%. So the morph type here is sync window full. It's just a cool kind of morph type. It sounds different if you don't have it on. You know, it doesn't really sound the same. But yeah, I thought it's cool with that on. So level or percentage for that is 0. Yeah, wavetable position once again at 1. And level is at 0%. Okay? So now for the filter, go into multi, click high pass, and it is at 57 Hertz for the cutoff. The resonance is at 66%, and panning is in the middle at 50. The frequency is at 66%, and then the mix is 100%. Okay? That's it for the oscillator window, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay, now for the effects, get a tube distortion. Drive is at 68% and mix is at 39. Hyperdimension is on, default settings here, and 24% for dry wet here, or mix. Okay. I do have a flanger as well right here. Rate is turned off. The depth is at 46%. The feed is at 50%, and then the mix is at 44%. Okay, rate here, I do have a phaser as well. Rate is at 0, depth is at 25, frequency 127 Hertz, and then feedback 80. The mix is also at 41% here. Okay, next thing up, I have a nice filter multi here. So it's a peak and peak. It sounds very different if you don't have it on. Here's what it sounds like. I mean, they both sound cool, but I just decided for this sound I wanted to have it on. So, yeah, click on PP and multis. Okay, and then cutoff is at 43 Hertz, resonance is at 69, and the frequency here is at 67. Okay, and mix is 100%. Okay, now I do have an EQ as well on here, so I'm just using one band. So that one band is 40 Hertz for the frequency, and then the gain is at 2.5 dB. Okay, also I have a compressor on here. I'm just messing with the gain for the most part, and I have multiband on. So gain is at 2.6 dB for that. And that's pretty much it, actually, for the main settings. Just go to your global tab and turn the width here down to 50% on both oscillators, just because I don't like having so much stereo. you know, when you have stereo voice or unison voices, they're automatically stereo in Serum. So I'm reducing that. Okay, now might as well cover the effects here. So I do have a gate, a kind of noise gate here. You can do this in FL with a limiter like I've done in the past. Okay, there's a small release, and I don't want it because with the compressor that I have after, it sounds bad. Okay, so what I have after that is hyperdimension. It's Serum effects, basically. Hyperdimension with a multi-band compressor right there. It sounds cool. If you turn it off, it doesn't sound as like multi-band compressed, so. Anyway, yeah, that's what we got. I'll show you how to do all the LFO stuff now. So try to draw the same shape as I have here. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, I guess. Little curve here, you know. Basically, the rate here, have it down all the way because I put a macro on there, basically. And I'll just cover that at the end, but just do that for now. Kind of set the macro like that and leave it kind of at maybe 48%. So now we get this kind of thing. Okay, so yeah, let's cover that. Put that on the level for the sub, up 100%. On the white noise level, 24%. On the wavetable position, 14%. On the blend, 23%. On the FM from B, 2%. On the level for oscillator A, 100%. Okay. Now on the basic shapes, oscillator B, you want to set it to 9% for the wavetable position, 29% for the blend, and 36% for the sync window. Don't forget, it's the full window, not the others. Okay, now on the high pass here, you want to make sure that you selected A, B, and N here for the oscillators that are going through this filter. And also set the LFO there, 35% range, okay? And then on the frequency, -6%. Yeah, for that. And I'm pretty sure that's all that's going on for this first LFO on this first page. Now go on to the effects page and set it onto the depth of the flanger at 12%, on the depth of the phaser at 7%, and on the filter here, there are two settings. So cutoff is at 39%, and frequency is at -7. Okay, this adds like the vocally kind of yoy type of sound that we're looking for. Or that I was looking for anyway. So on the EQ, set it to 36% on the frequency and 17% on the gain. Also 15% on the gain for the multi-band compressor. Alright, so that's what's going on for that. Now for the second LFO, it's only on the effects page that stuff is going on. Now I have this second LFO and the third one to add alternations, or else it's kind of boring if I don't have it on. Okay, now for the second LFO, we're going to be setting it onto the depth of the flanger at 13%, on the depth of the phaser at 29%, and on the frequency of the phaser at -4. Okay, on the double peak at 24% on the cutoff, and -2 on the frequency. And that's pretty much it, actually. That's all I needed for that first, that second LFO. Now for the third one, we are modulating a few more things here. So it's a different shape, obviously. Try to get the same thing if you can. And set it onto the FM from B, right here at 2%, on the high pass cutoff at 7%. Okay, on the depth here at 5%, on the depth on the phaser at 49% or 50, whatever. Yeah, and that's actually it for that. So now we have all these alternations, and you can mess with the rate kind of. Now we actually have to set the FM level. Right now probably sounds something like this for you, if you put all the settings right together. So what I did is I set a few macros, right? So this first macro is set onto the FM from B, so just set it from 0 to 100% range. Okay, cool stuff. And I left it at 48% maybe. Okay, it sounds pretty cool at that position. Next thing, once again on the rate, okay, just on the first LFO, leave it on, basically, yeah, put on the rate and then go from 0 to 100%, and I left it at 47. But the thing is, if you set it to, you know, this whole range, it's, you know, you can have the two extremes, right? So if you want, you can kind of shorten your range. But yeah, you can do that if you want to simplify it a little bit. The reason I do this is that it's kind of standard, you know, like if I want to copy it to another patch, then this is my standard. I'll have it from 0 to 100 by default. Anyways, yeah, from the wavetable position here, set it onto the first wavetable position, and now you can have all these alternations. Okay, so cool stuff right there. Wavetable position B, I usually have it at 36%. Right here. Actually, I think I forgot to crossfade it like that. Yeah, so crossfade this oscillator, and basically, yeah, I left it at 36% about. Okay, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm actually just going to give you one last tip for this thing. If you want to experiment a little bit, you can go and FM from sub right here. So it's kind of like more like growly type of stuff, and I think Zomboy might use a technique like that where he FMs from like another sine wave into something else, you know. That's probably what's going on. But anyways, yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. So yeah, you guys have a great day, and take care. Peace.